More gunfire tonight in Omaha, a fifth shooting case in less than 24 hours. The latest case in North Omaha. 6 News' Bella Caracta is tracking developments and joins us live in the newsroom with the latest. Bella?
John, the initial call around 6 o'clock was for shots fired near the intersection of 18th and Lothrop. Responding officers found a crash involving 2 vehicles. I'm told a Nissan Altima collided with an Infiniti. 4 people ran from the Nissan and several shots were fired. 2 of the Nissan passengers were taken to UNMC for non-life-threatening gunshot wounds. Those 2 people are considered suspects, along with several other people from the scene who were detained. Police later found the Nissan was reported stolen during a robbery. This investigation is still in its early stages. We'll bring you more information as we get it. Live in the newsroom, Bella Caracta, 6 News.